driverless cars are getting away with tickets, everything.
Okay, that's okay. What is
They're the
happening?
favorite child when we're and the
Oh my
humans are
god.
the older child. Nobody
The
likes
older
them.
child.
They
Okay,
all want
okay.
the new thing.
They want the new and exciting thing. Okay, what's happening?
So the thing that's happening now is that people are finding out that driverless cars have legal immunity in California, effectively.
Okay, that's a little strange. Why would they have legal immunity as opposed to a regular person?
Who gets a ticket for doing anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's because, unlike what our politicians say, California is not the most progressive in some aspects. And this is one of them, where California's laws for driving and other things have lagged behind. And now have set up a precedent for loopholes that driverless cars can not be cited for crimes
Yeah,
that they
because
do.
who are they going to charge? They're going to charge the
Exactly.
company. It's like, well, when you're getting the ticket, how are they going to write it up?
Basically, no citation for moving violation can be issued if the vehicle is being operated in driverless mode, because there's no one, to ticket.
Yeah.
So this would be kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. But it's like the only thing is that if they were doing nothing wrong, then it's like, oh, if they're not doing anything wrong, then it wouldn't be an issue. But these no good driverless cars are going crazy sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but they're running red lights, they're running stop signs, they're
That's insane
You
that
know-
they're doing that.
yeah, like it's not all the time, but I mean it happens.
Yeah.
And normal people would be caught. But these ones are not. And infamously, there was a large, high profile incident that we will be talking about a little later that has caused the majority of the uproar of like why these driverless cars should be held accountable.
Yeah.
And we'll continue with that conversation after you consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We come out with videos daily on interesting topics just like this one. So if you want to stay informed on interesting topics just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So the thing that we're talking about is the fact that a driverless cruise vehicle hit and basically they didn't hit and run. They hit and then dragged them 20 feet.
Yes, this was in San Francisco.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy that this happened.
And effectively, they're running into this issue where the driverless car, was doing what it's supposed to, and the driver or the vehicle code, they're having a hard time, obviously they can't pin a lot of stuff on the car.
Yeah, and the thing is, by the way, just to clarify this story, because I know there was a lot of information that went on about this because it was such a high profile thing that happened. It was another car hit the pedestrian into this cruise car, and then what the cruise car did is it went through and it followed the procedure for an emergency stop. But the thing is, it didn't realize that
There was someone under.
there was someone under there. So yeah, so a lot of things happened with that story. The framing of it for some of these news articles was like that the cruise car actually hit the person, but it was a car that hit them into the cruise car.
Yeah, it was like the cruise car it's like the I don't know, the secondary thing where the first hit knocked them into the other car the cruise car that hit them and then dragged them.
Yeah, so it was a pretty wild story that happened. But
Yeah, especially because it was a hit and run.
oh yes, it
Yes.
was. They don't talk about that. It's San Francisco.
Yeah, they're like, oh, obviously if you get a car accident, it's obviously going to be hit and run.
Yeah.
So you would think like, oh, California, okay, obviously then, all the other states have not passed anything to combat this. Wrong.
Oh, okay.
So Texas and Arizona, other places that have autonomous vehicles, both have laws that have been modified to account for these driverless cars. And famously, who worked or who predominantly is in Texas?
Is it? Oh, it's Elon Musk.
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, I think it's because a lot of people are now testing their autonomous cars in Austin. So Cruise was famously also having the cars start in Texas as well. Like a lot of autonomous cars are like Texas and Austin area. But in the Texas Transportation Code, they now consider the owner of the driverless car as the responsible party.
That makes
And
sense.
they can be cited for any type of traffic laws or traffic violations that the car does while it's autonomous.
You think about this, and you think your autonomous car is out picking up people, doing Ubers, and it gets cited 100 times, and you wake up to 100 cited tickets for your car.
I feel like at that point it would have to be you're transferring the reliability or liability to someone else at that point.
Yeah,
Because I feel like in that sense, I feel like you'd be transferring the liability to like Uber, or if Tesla ever does that, like, oh, you can robo taxi your car out. I feel like they would have to take responsibility, or like they would have to have like a separate insurance for that type of stuff to happen.
yeah, but I think they could just put like the
Driving California,
yeah, true. They could just California could do anything.
apparently.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is pretty insane because like the Cruise debacle has caused Cruise to lose his driverless license. But I mean, that's I mean, that costs billions of dollars, but also like the pain and suffering of the person that got hit, obviously.
yeah.
And I mean, it really is kind of telling where like they're not increasing. They're more willing to, you know, push for like the increase of having these driverless cars out there without like any type of responsibility for the driverless cars. Like, how if someone got like they do something bad, whatever, block emergency vehicles, etc. Like they haven't
they've been doing
all the stuff they've been doing. Like they haven't, you know, there's no repercussions. Like,
yeah.
so let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of these driverless cars? Do you think that they'll be lobbying to keep it to keep it like this? I feel like they would, you know.
I think they would. Yeah.
Like it makes sense to have a place that is just kind of almost lawless in terms of this. They can just kind of do whatever.
Yeah, and they can learn from it, and that's why I think they're gonna keep it. Companies are gonna fight for it. That's just my opinion. But yes, let us know in the comments down below.